Alright guys, we're back with another video, and we're going to figure out what we're going to be working on today, which is going to be the scooter, which ironically enough it looks like it's in a weird position because it is, because we got one more job to do on it. As of right now anyways, we know how that works, which is going to be the NCY Rear shock. So, last time I rode it, it was leaking pretty bad, so that means so as you can tell, we got the new tires and the fresh tints on it. It does have some adhesive there, but yeah. And like I said, sorry about the wind. Like I'm saying, it's always windy here. But okay, so I had to shut the door because it was too windy and it was just blowing stuff everywhere. But as you notice, I did straighten up the garage, so that's nice. But back to the list. So we already know we can mark the tint off the Genesis list and the rear tires off the Genesis list, so that's only leaving paint items for the Genesis, and then we can focus on clearing out the list for the Ice Bear, which we're doing right now. Okay, so minus the background noise of someone mowing, which is my neighbor over here, this is what we have going on. So this is what's going to come out of the NCY box for the shock. You're going to have the cool sticker for 2 wrenches. I needed this to break the bottom free to show you guys something important on that. And then you get instructions as well, which you're not going to really need. It's pretty self-explanatory. And obviously you get the cool NCY logo on the shock itself. But with this shock, so this shock has adjustability for, I think it's a little over 11 inches. I will show you what I mean in a second when I move this cap down. So like the Ice Bears or any of the Ruckus clones, they're a little bit shorter, or they only have one shock, so you can get away with a lot more. The ones with the dual shocks, so pricing for this shock, I paid $180 for it shipped, and that was from the GY6 store. I've always worked with them; they're pretty cool guys over there. But yeah, so for the other GY6 guys, like the standard scooters that run the double shocks in the back, like my last one was a Vento style scooter. I had the double shocks. I ended up going with, I want to say it was like your normal eBay shocks. I think they were like 280 millimeter shocks or 265s, which is what this one is. This is the 265 millimeter shock, not the low down, because I didn't want to go lower. I wanted to stay similar to the setup it is right now. With that being said, if the other GY6 guys get this, like with your standard scooters, not like this one, and you run both, you're going to be spending about a little bit north of $350 for both of them. But like I said, this one has the adjustability. I think it was a little over 11 inches. This one sitting at static, so just basically sitting there, it was at 11 inches, eye to eye. And when I say eye to eye, I mean from the center of this to the center of this, eye to eye, is 11 inches, or it came it came at 10.5 when I opened it out of the box, but I'm adjusted it back down for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and screw this off and show you what I mean by max adjustability. So when you adjust this bottom cap down, you can see there's like a silver ring right here. I'm gonna assume, because there's nothing in the instructions saying where the max is on it, I'm gonna assume that is the maximum height that you can go for adjustment before you start running out of threads. You can twist this all the way off and you'll see it's basically just, there's not much going on with it, but that would be what they were going to recommend. You don't go past that line. So when you retighten it back up, at least go to that. I'm going to go one full thread past that, because I want a little over 11 inches of height, because I want it to stay as close as factory as possible. I don't want it to go any lower. It's pretty low as it is. So, but with that being said, I'll go ahead and put this in some kind of a lock position. When this gets mounted, you're going to have the NCY logo out. That way the shock sits offset this way. As you can see with the standard one, the standard Gen 5 Ice Bear Maddog, it kind of sits, it's not sitting straight, it's kind of like offset like this. This basically helps eliminate that because obviously it offsets the shock itself, not the mounting points. But I know the Gen 4 I used to have wasn't like that. It was pretty much fairly straight up and down. It's just how they weld this top mount on. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead, finish taking this thing apart so we can actually get the new shock on. It's going to be a 10mm for the bottom nut, 12mm for the top nut, and then keep in mind that there is a back nut here. So 13mm bolt, nut, and then 10mm bolt. Okay, I'm going to take that off, pop this NCY one on, and we'll start adjustments. Alright, so we got the new NCY shock on. It actually looks really good. And then we have the old shock right here, and as you can tell, it's blown apart. So let's see what happened. Let's see if it just, it looks like it snapped itself off. It snapped itself right off. So just a little heads up, guys, if you do go with it, I would swap that out fairly fast because that's super not good and it's not safe. I don't think I know anybody that would like to have their shock on a bike break, especially if you're riding somewhere that would fully extend it. That would suck a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up some of this old oil that's just spilled out, and now we can go to adjusting. Alright, so now that we got that mounted, cleaned it up a little bit, we can start testing and running spring load. Right now it should be sitting at around 11 inches of height. Go ahead and so yeah, we're sitting at right at 11 inches of height. Now the thing that's going to happen here, you could use the bump stop, but I noticed this right away when I actually lowered it down. When I go to sit on this thing, it is extremely soft. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust and get a little bit more spring pressure off of it, because just sitting on it and having it sag that far is pretty drastic. So this is going to end up being me sitting on it and then bouncing. You can see the whole thing move, so that's a lot of movement in there. Obviously, I do want it to act like suspension, so it is going to move when you jump up and down on it. But at the same time, it's sagging pretty hard. I'm not sure if it's going to end up being at the same, jumping back to the same static as before. Looks like it's still about at 11 inches. I'm going to go ahead and tension it up a little bit, especially to stop that spring from spinning. And then I got to tighten up this cap as well anyways. So, but I will give it that. It does look good. It's a good looking shock. I mean, this is flashy, but obviously it's junk. This one's actually nice. And as you can see, this shock sits offset. So it kind of helps even it out a little bit more. It's not so offset on the back. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead, tighten that spring pressure up a little bit, and it should be sitting good. And yeah. All right, so I did the adjustments. It looks like I'm gonna be maxing out. Looks like I'm gonna be maxing out on spring tension as I can. It does still have some coil to it, but overall it's not that bad. It always resets back to 11. Don't have to worry. I'm not having any fitment issues up underneath here or hitting clearance issues. And it looks good too. So I think this is actually going to act like an actual shock and not be the pogo stick setup that they come with. Obviously, make sure when you do all your adjustments to lock the collars back down, because if they're not locked back down, obviously, let's say one of these comes loose, you're going to start losing spring tension, but obviously you'll know that pretty quick. The only way you're going to adjust height is if if one side of this is off. So more than likely you're going to have to take this off. I mean, you probably could adjust it from taking this eyelet off and then swinging it. But I would just focus on the bottom, that way you don't damage anything. And then you'll have to re-tighten down this bottom collar as well. And then re-tighten that nut, so that way everything meshes well. But it looks good. I guess what we could do now, back to the board. And there you go. So now the ice barrier looks like it's up to date. There's really not much more I have planned for this right now. Maybe some new tires. I was thinking about swapping out this back fender and going to the, I think it's the R1 fender that actually mounts over here. And I was looking at exhausts. I was looking at, if I get an exhaust for this thing, I like how this one kind of like just forms with it. But if I do get another exhaust for it, more than likely I'd probably go for the Hot Lap Type 666 exhaust, because I like the way it looks and it kind of sits in the similar position. But that's more than likely what I would end up doing. I have been thinking about taking this NCY decompression tube off, because all it kind of really does is makes a mess. Not much, but it kind of does do a little bit of blow by. Not much at all. Like I said, I could have this thing maxed out at like in the mid 70s, 70 mile an hour range, and it's still going to be doing the same. So it's not like it's over full on oil, which is a lot of times if you do overfill these things on oil and you run this tube, you will watch the oil fill this tube up on high RPMs. I did it with the Vento before. I kind of filled it over, like, I think it was like not much. It was like point, maybe it wasn't much. It was just like maybe 100 milliliters more, if that. And it was spraying. So yeah, but those are what I basically have in mind for this. I haven't really been looking at wheels, because I actually kind of dig these Gen 5 wheels. I mean, you already got the open side. It's a pretty big wheel. The only thing I would like to switch out is maybe make this a more of a rounded tire. So maybe go for like more of like I think they're 140 70 12s are what the guys are running on these things. Well, this is a 14, so I don't know how that's gonna work. Probably just try to see if I can find another tire. If not, replace this one. Even though it does have a lot of tread life left, this is my concern. The fact that the previous owner plugged it. It has been holding up fine, but it does lose air. So if it sits for, like over the winter, it sat for a while. I came out to it, it was like at like 2 PSI. And I don't really feel like driving this thing all over the place. And then next thing you know, I come out and I'm like sitting and it's squishy. Because at that point in time, I'll be used to the shock. So I can't say, oh wow, this suspension upgrade's nice. It's going to end up being the tire, and that would suck to have that. Especially if that starts to debead, that would suck. But maybe do like a starter upgrade. Get the high torque starter for it. And then obviously over this winter, I want to do a color change on it, because the blue is pretty nice. It's a nice color blue. But I think I want to go in like more of like a stealth mode and just run all black. And then on top of that, if I go all black, it'll match the rest of the fleet. So that'd be pretty cool as well. But besides that, this has been an extremely long video. Hopefully some of the information in it could help you out, especially showing you the fact that the OEM or stock Gen 5 shock snapped on it. I want to say this is the same shock they use on the Gen 4s, but I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to say it is. But I'm fairly certain that's the same shock on the Gen 4. But obviously it looks clean, pretty sleek. And like I said, it cost me 180 bucks, shipped from the GY6 store. No, I'm not sponsored by them, but I will link them, because I've always gotten a lot of stuff from him. Like I got the NCY tube, the intake from him, the shock from him, a couple other things. I want to say the fuel filter, the NCY ignition coil, you know, just stuff like that. Same thing with the intake manifold back there, the NCY intake manifold. But you know, things along those nature. Also, if you guys see anything on this that you want to maybe duplicate, or maybe you want to find the parts for it, like I know a lot of the guys like the 6-speed lug nuts on it, let's go ahead and comment down below. I did make videos for it, but I know a lot of the guys don't like going through and watching previous videos and actually watching the video. They like to just skip to what they want to see, which is fair. I do the same thing. But yeah, go ahead, let me know in the comments what you want to know about. Same thing, I know a lot of guys are asking about jetting. There's a video on that too, I have that. So if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help me grow the channel even more, because I was thinking about getting like a more standard scooter. Like this one's cool and fun, but it is the standard scooters. The thing I always liked about them is they have the little like bucket underneath the seat, so you can actually store stuff. This, you don't really have room for storage. I know a lot of guys get like the pouches that sit in here, but if I'm going to carry something, it's going to be bigger than what's going to fit in that pouch. Like, I don't know, let's say I want to go to the store and grab like, I don't know what to say, a bag full of lettuce. I can just stuff it underneath the seat, even though it'll probably be kind of gross how hot that thing gets. But yeah, if you want to see any more, subscribe to the channel. Same thing with these. I still have more coming for these cars. Obviously this thing now needs paint, especially on that. You can definitely tell it on that back bumper right now how faded that looks. That's not reflection, that's just a faded paint job. Looks rough, but it's like 300 bucks. But I need to do that. This thing needs some love in because the intake manifold gasket's starting to leak, so I'll give that thing some love. I know somebody asked me before why I keep putting money into this thing because it's so old. This thing only has 110,000 miles on it, and I've had it since 98,000 miles, and this thing's ran great. Obviously, I'm now running into like aging items. Same thing with the Subaru, but overall it's been good. Same thing, the Mustang's been running good. That's just got a bunch of new parts over the winter time. And then the BMW is probably gonna be next up on the list because it needs some paint items and it needs some just normal standard maintenance items. But besides that, here's the list, you guys. And hopefully we'll make a new video soon with updated things. Obviously this video is stretched out for a while, but when I make these videos, I don't just do like your standard how-to videos. I kind of just get into the conversation with you guys because I know some of you guys are actually watching for other things on the channel. So try to fill you guys in while you guys are watching. Maybe you're not into this. Maybe this isn't your thing. Maybe you're one of the get a real bike guys. It is what it is. It's cool. But yeah, if you guys want to see more videos on this or any of the cars out here, or even the lawnmower, I gotta do maintenance on that thing soon too. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button below. And like always, if you're trying to help me grow the channel, go ahead and share the content because we're getting there, guys. We're already at 5,100 subscribers and we're just growing. So I definitely have a lot more planned for this that I'll have to update the board. But yeah, so go ahead, stay tuned, guys. Be safe if you are riding one of these, because yeah. And like always, have fun, guys, and thanks for your support. See ya.